Consider the following two sets: whole numbers less than or equal to 3 and even whole numbers less than 10. The first thing they ask us to do is list the elements of each set, which is always a good idea if the set doesn't have a gazillion elements. Okay, whole numbers less than or equal to 3. 0 is a whole number, don't forget, so we start there, and then we have 1 and 2, and 3 is the last number that's less than or equal to 3. And for set Q, now they only want even whole numbers, so we can start at 0. Then we have 2 and 4 and 6 and 8. 10 is not less than 10, so we can't count that one. Now, n of p, this little symbol means the number of elements in p. So how many members does p have? 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of elements in set P is 4. The number of elements in set Q is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has nothing to do with what the elements are, just how many members does this club have. Now, write set P using set builder notation. Set builder notation is kind of like the way that we write a domain when we're talking about a function. It's a way of taking this definition and turning it into a series of symbols so that it describes the rules for the set. If you want to belong to set P, you have to be a whole number, and you have to be less than or equal to 3. So the rules for P would be something like set P is numbers x. A vertical line means such that. So it's saying numbers x which meet the following requirements. And now the requirements are, it has to be a whole number, so x has to be an element of the whole numbers. I use commas. They seem to be on and off with the commas, but that's the end of one requirement and the start of the next one. So x has to be a whole number, and x has to be less than or equal to 3. Close curly. That's your set notation. So P is numbers which meet the following requirements. They're whole and they're less than or equal to 3. They didn't ask us to do Q, but oh wait, they do in part D. I'll do Q the same way and then we'll go looking for it down below. Q is numbers x that meet the requirement that they're whole. So x is an element of the whole numbers, and they're less than 10, and they're even. For a number to be even, it has to be divisible by 2, so you'd have to have something like x is, this is what I would do. There's probably other ways to do this and they might be better, but I'm saying our number is 2 times something, and that something can't be a fraction. It's got to be a whole number. Oh, I'm sorry. I said whole number. I wrote integer for some reason. So our number has to be whole because they said whole number up here. Our number has to be less than 10 because they said less than 10 up here. And it has to be even, which means it's 2 times something. If a number is 2 times something, that means it's divisible by 2. Now in part D, they say set builder notation that describes set Q. Let's see how I did here. Let's see if any of their definitions look like what I wrote. Less than 10. This is no good because it doesn't have the even component, so A is out. They use the letter E, which doesn't matter all that much. They're saying E is 2 times something, and oh, this is kind of elegant. See what they did here? They said, okay, we need a number that's 2 times something, and the something has to be between 0 and 4. So that would mean your number is somewhere between 2 times 0, which would give you 0, and 2 times 4, which would give you 8. So I like this one. This is a little bit nicer than what I did, actually. Instead of basing everything on the original number, they're saying, okay, we're going to start with the number 0 to 4, then we're going to double it, and that'll give you a number that's either 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. And this version is again using the 2 times a number, but now they're saying the number can be 5. If this number is 5, then our set member ends up being 2 times 5, which is 10, which is not allowed. So D is almost a nice idea, but not quite. And what did we say was wrong with this one? Oh, B, now they're saying x can go up to 10, but that would mean that this number can go up to 20, so that's way too big. C gets the seal of approval. That's a little bit nicer than what I did.